28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt, and I want to talk about it.
At 21, seven credit cards. I understand that it's like, if you don't know, you just don't know.
Especially if you're going to college, right?
Yeah.
Who's on the campuses that are preying on young students that have never had to make these kind of decisions?
Right. It's not that bad, man.
Right. What is wrong?
I don't know why. She's just talking about it like.
What's going on, tech team? It is Just My Tech Sense, where we talk tech, finance, and lifestyle. And I'm WillDoesTech. I'm joined by my co-host,
JohnnieTech. What's going on, Tech fam?
And a round of applause for JohnnieTech, because JohnnieTech was on time today, and he has made it a trend to be on time, which has been really good because, for the longest time it was, Johnny, where you at? And Johnny was always on the way, but Johnny has he's gotten a winning streak going on, and I appreciate that because that shows me that he values my time, I value his time, and it's been good, man. It's been.
Well, listen to this guy. I'm always good. On time, man.
So I know for the most part we've been talking just tech, and on this channel we talk both tech, finance. And I said both, but I meant to say three things: lifestyle. Today we want to talk about finance. So just my tech sense. Sense is spelled like cents, 2 cents, change, whatever. So we want to dabble into the finance part of it. So today we're going to review a TikTok video that talks about debt, and we'll just give our commentary from that. So
all right, let's see. Take a look at it.
And just to also preface this, Johnny hasn't seen the video. I've seen the video, so he will be giving his reaction, and we'll see where it goes.
Live reaction.
Live, but not live.
All right.
But on camera, but live.
28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt, and I want to talk about it. And before I break down my debt, I just want to say, growing up, my family, we didn't have those money conversations. I didn't have anyone in my life that could teach me, about all these financial things that I'm starting to learn now. But like when I was young and I started getting credit cards, like I didn't know any better. I was so naive.
So she in credit debt? She didn't say yet. She just said $40,000 worth of debt.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure some of it is credit card debt. I mean,
okay.
I think she's going to break down, what it consists of. But more importantly, it's the conversations that she didn't have when she was younger. And that I can relate. Like, we never talked about debt. We never talked about finances. The only interaction I had with finances was when I got a job. And I think I was 13 at the time, working under the table, but still,
right.
Making money. But at that point, never really understood, saving, investing,
finance, right?
Yeah, any of that. So, I mean, did you grow up with, in a household where they spoke to finances?
I would say that I didn't get a deep knowledge on finance at the time. I think it wasn't something to be thought of, like, especially, I don't know what age. Like, I guess she said she's 28.
Yeah.
So got to get more into the story when she says she's younger. But like, I've always been taught to work, so that was the thing. So I've always worked the job. I cut grass.
That was not even what we talked about, man.
You
we talking about money.
I know.
Right.
Let me get in my story.
Okay, all
man.
right. I'm gonna let you cook, because I'm like, she didn't say she didn't learn how to work.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. It's like, about, you asked me about the financial advice that I got. So the main financial advice that I feel like I was getting was to make sure that you can have income. So that's the financial advice. Like, always, you're working. I got told to, save money.
Yeah.
But it was more about building a work ethic in a sense. But I don't think I've had those deep financial conversations beyond like, hey, don't spend all your money.
Right.
Right. So
right.
I would say that.
Yeah. And I think that's deeply rooted. I think that's institutional. I think, really that's something that we should learn in schools, right? If I could change things, financial literacy would start probably at elementary school,
right?
That way you're brought up that way, but that's just not the way the system works. So, so we're not, right?
21-year-old me feel the need to have 7 credit cards. I don't know, but it happened. And
there's the age I was talking about, 21. So
21 with 7 credit cards.
Yeah, I would have never did that. But that's just because I feel like at that point I had learned. My family told me about finances at that point. I think it was like so a lot of my knowledge became age appropriate knowledge. Like at 14, I feel like it's good to have the information at 14.
Yeah,
but I got it later on. So because you can start way earlier with when we're talking finance in general, you can start pretty much any time learning about money.
Yeah.
So I think you can go beyond that. But at 21, 7 credit cards, I understand that it's like, if you don't know, you just don't know. And that could be that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that that's abnormal. I mean, I think, again, especially if you go into college, right?
Yeah.
Who's on the campuses that are preying on young students that have never had to make these kind of decisions. Right. So it's easy to get approved for a credit card. So you go into stores, right? And like, hey, you go into Macy's, you get a Macy's
you
card,
20%
right?
off.
Right. Everything has a card, right? And they have to ask you or they get in trouble.
Yeah, and it's not even like they're telling you like this is a credit card. Like, hey, you want to get you a nice Macy's card, get 20% off.
20% off. Right.
Yeah, I'll take that 20% off.
On this $10 thing, right?
Now you got a credit, you're like, okay.
Right.
So, I mean, I definitely see like if you don't have the financial literacy on those things. And it's not, I'm saying it sounds like advanced financial literacy, but it's like you don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, 20% off of $10 is what, $2, right? So you getting this thing for $8, but to you,
like, I'm gonna save that money.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got to sign what? Okay, cool.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Now I'm here because of it, and I just really want to talk about it, and I want to kind of help break this negative outlook on talking about money that I've had most of my life, and I'm just tired of feeling shameful and embarrassed about my debt. And I truly believe you take away something's power by talking about it. So
oh, sorry, my bad, man. She said she I don't know, man. My mind is like, she must be in a lot of debt. She said she has a shameful amount of debt. So it's just like, that made me just think it's a lot of debt, man.
I mean, you saw what she, I mean, that is.
It sounds like more than that, but I'm like,
40,000 is, I mean, come on, man.
It's the dramatics, man. Like, she said she has a shameful amount of debt, man. That's a lot of debt.
I mean, depending on how you look at debt.
I get it, man.
All right, we're going to keep on going because.
Okay.
I don't want my debt to have this power over me anymore. So I'm going to talk about it because it's part of life. So many people are in debt. They just don't talk about it. So I'm here to talk about it, and hopefully this can help someone that is also struggling with the same thing, and we can get through it together. Or I don't know, as I learn, I can share what I learn out there. But yeah, here's the breakdown.
It's not that bad, man.
Right. What is wrong?
I don't know why. She's just talking about it I understand. Like, I've been in debt before too. I don't think I felt that bad about it, but that's rough right there. It just sounds, she making it sound very, very dramatic, so it's a little bit funny to me, but I understand the seriousness of it. Like, I understand, I understand debt is not a joke, but just different people. I mean,
you sounding real insensitive right now, but I hear you, man.
I know. Yeah.
You all right? I mean, you got the tears flowing.
My bad, man.
Wow. I feel for her, right? So again, I didn't grow up knowing about any of this. So I think when you come to the realization of what it is, right, and you realize how much debt can determine the way that you can actually move, right? I feel like for me, I'd probably look at it the same way. So would I get on TikTok with it? TikTok wasn't around when I was in that.
You'd have been on there.
So I've had, what's your name? Casey. I've had way.
And that's what I'm saying.
Way more debt, right? But I didn't have TikTok. I didn't have an outlet and nor would I.
Are you saying you would have been on there crying?
Nor would, she's not crying, but nor would I say that out loud. At the same time,
right.
At the same time, she's doing something good because I feel like talking about it also allows people to realize, I can do something about this, right? So if you're 19 or you're 21 and you're applying for credit cards and you've seen this video, that could change things, right? So, throwing this out there, right? I've been in extreme debt. Now the daggone video done disappeared. I gotta find it. But I have been in extreme debt, and I'm talking $385,000 worth of debt. And
I'm not just messing with you.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Yeah. And that's my story, right? I'm debt free now, right? And actually, I'm living really, really good,
right?
At the same time, like this wasn't a thing that people talked about, and I didn't think about it. So, kudos to her for shining light on this situation. There we go. All right. I think we're back.
All right, let's get it. And what's the name again? Cassie?
Yes, it's Cassie. So
shout out to her for telling her story.
It's people like you, man.
What, man?
You're a good person, but
hey, man, it was funny, man. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
You got to laugh at your pain. I laugh at mine all the time, man.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Down on my debt, and mind you, I don't have a car, so I don't have a car loan or anything, and I don't have a mortgage or anything, so all of my debt is loans, student loans, and credit card debt. To start with my loans, I have
Yeah, I agree. But again, the conversation needs to be had. And again, everybody looks at it differently. So if she feels like it's bad for her.
Shameful.
Upstart loan, which is $11,891, and I have a SoFi loan, which is $18,630, and then I have my student loans, which is $8,370. And then for my credit cards, I have a Best Buy credit card that has $1,685 on it, my Chase credit card, which has $145 on it, and then my Apple credit card, which I regret ever getting this card, but I have $4,205 on it. All right, so how did we get here? How did I let this happen? I honestly, starting young with all the credit cards that I had, I just fell into the, rat race, and going to stores, it was always, if I saw something I wanted, I just got it, and I was like, I'll just put out my credit card and I'll figure it out later, or I'll pay it off, like whatever it was. And then sometimes I would pay it off, sometimes I ended up spending too much that I couldn't pay it off, so then it would leave me with a balance, and then I would keep doing that, and then before I knew it, I had such a high balance on my credit card, that on multiple credit cards, that I then had to take out a loan to pay off those credit cards to consolidate that debt, because it was just too overwhelming for me.
Yeah, I mean that was my story too.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut y'all. Go ahead, man.
No,
my bad. Just because I didn't hear the whole story, so initially it sounds bad, but after you get through the initial portion of it, you hear the full story, you understand. Okay, like how you were spending this money and why you were spending the money, and the situation you put yourself in. It's like you're not sure how you're going to get out of it, and that's where I think the dramatics come out of it a little bit. Where I'm like, okay, why are you being so dramatic? But I understand when you feel like you're in a lost position. What do I do from here? So I understand, because it was a time where I was in $2,000 or $3,000 worth of credit debt, and I'm like, man, I don't I was paying my I'm paying my bills or whatever. I was paying my bills, on that low amount of debt, but at the same time, it's like, man, I don't have that much money to always dish out. I was like, am I gonna be able to pay this off? But
yeah,
that's not a lot of debt at all. But
yeah, well, I think it's relative, right? Yeah. If you have a low income or you're not making any money, $3,000 can be a lot of money, right? So I say that I was in $385,000 worth of debt, but we had big shovels, right. So it's like when you have a big shovel, it's easier to make way, and thankfully we were, but it's all about, I think, a person's perspective and their situation on whether or not $3,000 is a lot of debt or $3,000 is not at all.
And you see how I'm speaking now is more of along the lines of like. And I know you might have a totally different opinion than I do. Like, yeah, and it also varies. She said she had $8,000 with the student loan debt. I have way more student loan. I have like, I started at like 45. I think it might be like 70 now.
Yeah.
Of student loan debt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so technically I have more debt than her student loans,
Yeah.
but student loan debt doesn't necessarily affect.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
It doesn't you in your situation, in your mind.
right. To me, like, and I understand the increase, but I'm paying it, whatever.
Yeah.
And that might be some people that can't, they might not be able to handle it, or it depends on what type. You might have a student loan that is, your payment is way too high, and you're like, oh, how am I going to get from under this loan when you're paying it, or who knows where she got the loan from?
Yeah,
just don't know. So
yeah, but you don't feel any kind of way that your student loan debt went from 45,000 to say 70,000?
Oh yeah, I do.
That is going in reverse, though you're paying towards it every month.
I do, but I feel like student loans is a scam that they just like the credit cards.
So they got you.
They got me.
Okay.
I went to college and they're like, oh yeah, go ahead and take out this. You can get your nice refund check. They're not really preaching the financial literacy that she's talking about. So she's absolutely right about the things she's saying.
Yeah.
So I could definitely give her credit on that. So my thing with the student loan debt is more along the lines of like, I almost can't over worry about it, because the good thing about student loan debt, from my understanding, it doesn't count against your debt to income ratio, so it doesn't stop certain things for you.
Okay, and that makes you feel good, just throwing empty money into the air and just saying, hey, here you go. So I guess for me, so I paid off my student loan debt as soon as I got out of college. Mm-hmm. Just not understanding the dynamic of it, just that it was debt. So I paid it off, right? Mm-hmm. Got married, incurred, because my wife's burden is my burden. Her debt became my debt, right? So we have this debt, and, we're paying on this debt for a while now, and we're paying a lot of money towards this debt. And I asked, I said, so how much is going to principal and how much is going to interest? And when it was like 14,000 going to interest and 4,000 going to principal, and it continued to climb, nah.
I might not have anything to principal right now. That's what
and that's not a problem for you, right? Because you're like, oh, this is a part of life. This is me, right? They've programmed you to think that, right? And you're okay with it because that's how you move, right?
I'm not gonna say, well, yeah. I'll just be honest. Student loan debt, it's not a big concern for me at this point, because I'm not gonna take a chunk of my money and try to pay that off when it's just an unreal amount to me. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. But it started
at 45,000, right? So again, it's at 7. Again, I don't know, your numbers outside of you just saying it, but it's like 70,000. Then what? 120,000. Then 200,000.
It might.
And you die with it, right? Possibly. And or you're unalive. You're like I don't know, man. But anyways, right, But again, it is the way that we are programmed. It's the system, and I think again her being part of the cause to shed light onto these kind of situations is just the start to allow people to realize, student loan debt is not the way to go.
Right.
And we know, especially being in IT, that you don't even need a degree.
You probably don't. So as I'm saying, I'm talking about the situation I'm in now. We're gonna talk about it like student loan debt. This is what has already happened. It's been occurred. If I could do it all over again, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna zero student loans. Yeah. I'm going to do whatever I have to do not to take that amount of money or, figure something out not to do it. Because, it's not a good thing, but it's you're already in a situation. I think the smart financial decision is not to spend a chunk of your money trying to pay something down that you're not going to really get anything back from. Yeah. So that's just how I look at it right now.
Yeah. And you have to be okay with that, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding that at some point you'll stop working, but those student loan debts will still be there. Right. So that's the thing you have to realize, you will continue to have to pay on that and pay more on that because your interest is continuing to, make your originally borrowed debt grow, right? So as long as you're okay with that and you can move through life, that's all that matters, right? Right. But I also feel like, that's one of the things that I just, for me, right? And I was okay in that ignorance of, you know what, student loan debts, it's a part of life. You have it for 30 years and you just kind of it's there. And then I'm like, but there are opportunity costs, right? Depending on what the interest rate is. that you're losing out on because you have this thing that just continues to linger. So just my thought. So we'll continue on with the video. Good discussion.
And I did it all over again. For me, the little purchases here and there, $50 here, $50 there, $100 there, like it adds up. And if you're not tracking and if you're not truly understanding what's coming in and what's going out, you kind of just get lost and you don't even realize, and before you know it, you're in a situation.
And so she's talking about budgeting, right? And looking at your numbers, and that's one of the things that we didn't do that well either. We didn't do it at all. Was budget. And as she said, like, these things can nickel and dime, and then they become quarters, and they become dollars, and they become Benjis at some point, right?
Right.
And it's like, for us, it was trips, vacations. And you don't necessarily count every dollar. You have a good time. It's like the trip was more than just, the airfare.
Right.
It's more than just the hotel.
Entertainment.
Right. Entertainment, food.
I definitely see how it stacks up because I've had credit card debt, and that's what I'd be more concerned about because that needs to be paid on time, right then and there. Like, so, and you don't want to ruin your credit. Now, I will say that just to touch back on student loans, because like I said, I wasn't worried about it at the time. I mean, not that I didn't care about it, but student loans ruined my credit when I first got out of college.
Yeah.
I had to rebuild my credit all the way back up. Like, I'm great now, but at that time it ruined my credit because I wasn't well versed in how that works. Like, as soon as I got out, I needed to start making payments.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of all those things. So I was like, oh man, it's like I go to try to get a credit card. They're like, bro, you got horrible credit.
Right.
I'm like, how? I never bought anything. But so that's one thing I will say is, like, the credit, I think, is the most important thing. But beyond that, I would say, like, back on what you're saying, is the credit card debt is a big thing to me, and that can definitely pile up because if you're sitting there paying the minimum payments, but then you're like, I went over budget just a little bit. Let me go ahead and take care of these things, and now the minimum payment you made, you already spent over that. You just keep, it's that trickle effect. You go, keep going up and up and up, and then next thing you know, they're gonna be raising your limit. Oh, he like to spend money. Let's raise the limit, and then you can get into a lot of debt that way. But I definitely feel like paying that off is a good thing.
Right.
Where you don't even understand how you got there, but you know how you got there. And I just want to say it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So if this can, I don't know, get in front of the young adult crew that is starting to manage their finances on their own, or someone in the same boat as me, like, you're not alone. And I want to talk about it because I want it to stop having so much power over us, and I want you to know, like, you can be in control, and the way to be in control is truly track your finances and budget and do what you have to do. Like, for me, what has been helping me so much is I use the Rocket Money app, and I love it because I plug in all my accounts in there, and it is able to give me an overall view of my finances. I'm able to put budgets in the app, so for each category I have a budget, and it tells me when I'm reaching the maximum for that category, so I can truly keep track throughout the month what I'm spending. Tracks my assets, it tracks my debt, so I'm able to see my net worth, and my net worth is negative $17,048.
It's not
crazy, huh? There's an internal savings account too that you can set up and put a goal for what you want. I have an emergency savings going, and they take little money here and there out of your account in such small amounts that you don't even realize they're taking out, but then before you know it, you have, money in this account that it's nice to have. But I honestly recommend it. This is not sponsored in any way. This is just an app that I've discovered that I love and I use all the time, and it helps me truly manage my finances because I can't do the spreadsheets. I can't do the Excel sheets or whatever. Like, I can't do the tracking and writing down every single transaction that I do. It's just not realistic for me. I've tried, but this Rocket Money has honestly been the best thing for me to do. So I definitely recommend it if you're in the same boat as me and you're looking for something to.
I don't know if this was an ad for Rocket Money.
It sound like it was.
It's starting to sound like it.
Maybe, I mean,
anyway,
kind of help you manage your finances better.
And
I do say, like, you have to face your finances. So every single day I have to look at my debt in the face and be like, all right, we're taking steps towards, clearing this debt. Honestly, it's hard sometimes, but I am truly trusting God that He is one day going to clear my debt. I know that He has things that He needs to work in me first, because if He clears my debt when I'm not ready and I go and rack up more debt, like, what was the point, So I know that His timing is perfect and everything.
What's up, man?
Man, she actually needs help. I mean, like, she needs some help, man. And that's
what do you? I want you to elaborate before you say she needs help.
Because I'm just saying, because she stated her problem. So my thing right now, just to be honest, like, it's not about the debt to me in this video that I'm watching, because I understand, I feel for people that may have been, they didn't have the literacy, they fell into a trap.
Yeah.
She just said that she needs God's help, because if He clears her debt too early, she might do the same thing.
Yeah.
So that means you still don't have the financial literacy.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, like, you're just being a little over dramatic in this video, because we could talk about this. The problem that she's talking about is a very serious problem, right? But now that you had the information, you got to just improve on it. So that's my thing. I mean, it's a great talking point for us to say, like, hey, these are the things you should do. You should look at, man, I don't even know if she mentioned that she have a job or not. I mean,
right.
If you are in debt and you don't have a job, you need to worry about getting a job. She didn't, like, I don't think she really brought up any solutions.
Yeah.
Rocket money ain't gonna help you if you don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have a job. So, I mean.
So here's what I would say, because I don't disagree with her. Right. I feel like a lot of why you So I feel like it is about timing, right? I feel like they're in due time. I feel like you can have too much of a good thing too early, right? You look at a lot of athletes who come into money and then they end up broke. They squander. Right. They don't have that literacy, right? And even for me, right? Until I got married, had no debt, right? And then I had debt. And like, for me, I just think about where I would be, probably the things that I would have done had I had all this money, right? And I feel like it was premature. So there were things that I had to learn through my debt journey that I won't repeat again.
Right.
Right. It was that painful, the sacrifices I had to make to get over that were that painful that I'll never do it again, right? But had I not had those obstacles, then I might be still doing the same things, right? So, I mean, the debt that we had was years of vacations, eating out, all the things without tracking our money, right? And it's like, when that happened, it's like, hey, things have got to change, and I refuse to go back to that place. So. I don't disagree with her. There are lessons in everything. And I feel like this is her lesson. She doesn't talk about a job. I'm also believing that she is not talking about having faith without works. So she's putting work in. I'm sure she's putting work in, right? But she's also learning in this season of her life. So I don't disagree with that. Again, but I have gone through a journey such as this, right? So I can relate versus...
I mean, I actually relate to everything she's saying. I'm just,
But you've also turned a blind eye, right? Because she's also included her student loan debt. You're like, yo, I ain't even counting that as debt. I mean, it is, but it ain't even real life, right?
It's almost
just
like
something that's a part of me. I'm gonna continue to pay this until I can't.
Hey, man,
I mean, that is right.
No, that's a part of it. Yes,
right?
That's a part of it. We could definitely say that. Because I'm not gonna just make something up on camera. I have student loan debt. I'm like, all right,
most people do.
We'll work on that. But at the same time, it's like, if I build my wealth to the point, if I'm focused on, I can do more with my money by trying to build my wealth than trying to pay these loans off at this time. So that's my strategy. Like, I could pay, if I have the money, I can try to pay for classes or courses or whatever to help me further my career than try to figure out how I'm gonna pay these loans. So that's kind of how I take that. But the whole point of this video is, like, I know people might kill me in the comments. I know some of it, The dramatics just makes me laugh. It was funny to me a little. Not her situation, but just the way she was speaking about it. But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I've been in, we'll have other videos where we talk about finance. I've been in tons of financial situations that, were not advantageous for me, and I had to figure out how to get out of those situations. And so everything she's saying is true. You don't have the financial literacy. Things happen. You end up behind the 8 ball multiple times. The only thing in the messaging here, I just feel like should have brought up more solutions, unless she's still dealing with it, what she says she is, and those type of things.
She did bring up a solution, right? She's budgeting
rocket
now.
Money.
Yeah. I mean, and she's tried spreadsheets, right? That is tough to do every month, but I think she does have a solution, and she didn't talk about her, her income or anything like that. But it sounds like she's on a path to, break free of her debt situation.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I don't think we need to review any more of the video.
Yeah,
we got plenty of input from Johnny. And again, like Johnny is reacting on this video. This is a first scene for him, and I have seen this video. I've been able to formulate my thoughts. Again, his reaction is his reaction, wasn't my reaction. But that doesn't matter, right? Again, he sees it a certain way. He wasn't making light of the situation. It's just he feels like for him, it's something that she can probably overcome. He doesn't feel like it's as bad as it seems. And, for me, it's, it depends on the person. So for her, she feels bad about it. That's her reality. But from somebody that's speculating, spectating, it may look otherwise, because Johnny's like, yo, I got more debt than her, and I'm
making it, man. We got to push through,
I'm making
man.
it.
Like, everyone has a background, you got to push through, and it is
but,
what it is. And I'm not, like you say, like, we're not making light of it, but at the same time, it's like you got to push through.
Yeah,
and that's just my personality. Like, I'm in the Air Force, and strong structure. Like, hey, you got to push through. You got to make things happen.
Johnny is definitely he does, that is his mentality and everything, which is what I love about him. He's always positive. And he always pushes through, the hardest of times. So, but what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I think, again, like, debt, unfortunately, is something that has been programmed into us. It's the way that capitalism works at this point. And I think it's on purpose that we're not taught financial literacy at a young age. But that's changing now with, the advent of, social media, people like Cassie speaking out, and us kind of responding to it. So what are your thoughts? This is Just My Tech Sense, where we talk tech, finance, and lifestyle. I'm WillDoesTech. This is JohnnieTech. Follow us at Instagram, JustMyTechCents.
And Johnny_Tech.
And Johnny_Tech. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Have a good one.
Out.